Good evening, everyone. Asim sir, may I please request you to take over?
कहाँ से ही हो रहा है?
Yeah, give me the video.
I'm sorry, sir.
I should be on the screen. I can't see myself.
We can see you, sir.
Okay. Namaskar. uh, Passion, dedication, integrity, empathy. These are but some of the few words that partially or not even partially define our beloved Sri Kamal Singh ji. I've had the privilege of working him very closely. It's a big loss, and as you would have cherished some of the photographs that we saw, may I request all of us to observe silence for a minute in the respect to the departed soul.
Karumpal ji.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Before we start requesting most of you to speak, we have a few housekeeping announcements. One is that we have structured the whole thing in a way that first the president of GCNI will speak, followed by governing council members, and after that there is an option of raising your hands. So as you raise your hand, then we will unmute your video and try to accommodate as many as possible for the governing council. After that, we have the GCO section where Shabnam will take over, and we will again use raise of hands, and colleagues from GCNI will speak, and then it will be open to everybody, and my request is that kindly be brief. We really value and appreciate your sentiments, but this situation is such that we would like to hear from most of you. And those of you who are not able to speak for some reason, you kindly keep on posting your messages, because these messages and this aired with Kamal sir's family. And his son, Mr. Lalit Singh, is also there in the meeting, and he will speak to us right in the end. So now I request Shri Shashi Shankar, President GCNI and CMD ONGC, to please share his thoughts.
Yes, I see him in the
Yeah, please bring him on.
Friends, it's a very sad occasion. Death has shocked all of us. First time, late 2017, a very pleasing personality, a very fine person, and a humble human being. On Monday morning, when I received a message from Mr. Uday Kohli, I just could not believe that Mr. Kamal Singh is no more with us. He has been steering rural network India very heavily in national conventions, and we all have witnessed these have been a huge success. He has taken a number of initiatives, several new activities, events have been added in the annual program. During this pandemic, he has conducted several programs on virtual platforms, which has been very widely appreciated by one and these have given immense recognition and importance to GCNI, strong agencies in India, very sincere, very hardworking, and by one and all, will miss him greatly. He has left a void which is very hard to fill in. Our prayers are with the family and the friends for his soul to rest in peace. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I will now request Dr. Udesh Kohli, founding member of GCNI and instrumental in bringing Kamal sir on board the Global Compact Network India, to share his thoughts.
Well, as Mr. Shashi Shankar said, it's a great loss for us. It's a setback for the Global Compact Network, India. He has been an institution builder, not only in Global Compact, even in earlier organizations, National HRD Network, as well as IMA. And in the Global Compact Network, he raised the activity level to many-fold, really. In fact, compared to when he joined and compared to now, there has been a great increase in activities and our revenues also. He is an excellent human being. Everyone has liked him. The largest I know of, really. He knows personally and interacts personally with so many people so effectively that everyone likes him. As it's really a big loss, it will take quite some time for us to get over that. We pray for the family as well as to God to bless his soul, to rest in peace. I hope we all will be able to cope up with this loss in time to come. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I will now request Renata Risalan, the UN coordinator in India, to share her thoughts. Rashika, is Renata there?
So I don't see her here.
All right. So now I request the Governing Council members to raise their hands, and we will take a few to share their thoughts. Rashika, please facilitate this.
Yes.
Actually, Renata is there. So I will request Renata to please share her thoughts. Meantime, I already see the hand raised. So we will then take it one by one. Over to Renata.
Thank you. Are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
absolutely. Yeah, please go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. Namaskar to all. I think I really speak on behalf of the entire United Nations family in India when I say that today we feel completely bereft. The sudden and untimely loss of Kamal has left us all shocked and saddened. And each and every one of us who interacted with our dear Kamal felt really truly impressed by not only what he does, but really grateful for the way he does things, his warmth, his congeniality, his sincerity, and most of all, his friendship. So I wanted to take this opportunity, above all, to share our profound condolences, deepest and profound condolences, and deepest respect to his family. We stand with you at this moment of irreparable loss, and we pray that you find the strength in his memory and in the enduring impact of his life to make it through these difficult times. Our Kamal was a steward of one of the most important of the United Nations partnerships, the UN Global Compact, and the legacy that he leaves behind will endure for many, many years and decades to come. Under his leadership, the Global Compact in India went from strength to strength to become now the home of over 500 leading business members and signatories. And his own personal network was a big part of that, and his own personal commitment and beautiful personality were also a big part of that. Under his leadership, key initiatives came to life to promote, for example, things like gender equality, the advancement of the Sustainable Development Goals, and just the overall strengthening of the UN private sector partnership, both here in India, but also globally. And when the pandemic hit, he continued to advance the mission of the UN Global Compact India chapter. And despite all the challenges, as mentioned, he managed to put several important events online, notably the Global Compact Network Virtual Leaders Summit. And he brought in the 20th anniversary year of the Global Compact. He was right in the middle of executing another great initiative, the GCNI's Impact Innovation Challenge for COVID-19, and the 5th Innovation Practice Awards to culminate next month when he was taken away from us. His life inspires us all to do our very best with the time that's been granted to each of us, and to touch the lives of others with kindness and sincerity, and with the full commitment to a cause greater than all of us individually. So once again, just to conclude, to our dear Kamal's family, may God give you the strength and courage to celebrate his life as we go through the catastrophe of this great loss. And to my UN colleagues, may the UN family continue to be inspired by his sterling example to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have Sanda Onyambo with us. She's the Executive Director and CEO of UNGC. May I request her to share her thoughts, please? Nashika, please.
Yes,
Sanda
she
on,
is.
please.
Yeah, she's. The camera's on. Sanda, if you may say a few words, please.
Greetings to you all. It is with a sincere, still a very sincere sense of shock and deep sympathy that we join you here. And I know that there's many of us from the Global Compact family on this call. And we really just want to extend our deepest sympathies on the passing of Kamal, who is a beloved executive director of the Global Compact Network India. It has been said already, under Kamal's leadership and vision, the Global Compact Network India grew in leaps and bounds. I'm only just about 4 months in the role, but I certainly already felt the impact, the energy, the enthusiasm, the vision that Kamal brought both to the Indian network as well as to all of us in the interactions that we had. I know that he played a key role in forging a very strong relationship between the Global Compact Network India and the UN in India. He was also a very strong supporter of the work of the Global Compact, the UN system, and also of another entity, the Principles for Risk. A true believer in the role that future business leaders were instrumental for the future of India as well as for the world. We acknowledge Kamal for his stellar career of over 3 decades in various leadership positions in organizations across India. His deep commitment to people, to education, to human rights, to gender, to sustainable business. He played a key role in forging relationships, in building bridges, and was just a strong supporter of everything that we stand for in the Global Compact family. You know, I mentioned very active, very energetic. We will miss him dearly. Beloved team leader, making everybody around him feel happy, respected, and really bringing out kindness, friendship, and positivity. Traits that are often very rare in leaders, but stand out when you see them, and you see them with the authenticity that Kamal brought to the role. I recall him always being ready with a smile, with a word of encouragement, with a message to kick off your day and get you going. And we'll certainly miss his warmth and his hospitality. It's an irreparable loss, certainly for us in the Global Compact, and we will truly miss him. We honor his life. We send our deepest sympathies and empathies to his family, his professional colleagues, and all of those that that loved him deeply. And with that, we just want to continue to extend our sympathies and our deepest empathies for all of us here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sanda. We really appreciate this. And now over to Dr. Bhaskar Chatterjee, please. Nashika, unmute.
Yes, he is on the mic. Yeah. Dr. Chatterjee, if you may.
Thank you, Asim Bhai. It is impossible to speak of Kamal Bhai without a tremor in one's voice. More so because he and I were literally brothers in every sense of the word. I knew him for more than 3 decades. In the early 90s, I was just finishing my MBA from the All India Management Association, where he first was, and where his talent began to bloom, and the first signs of what he was ultimately going to become were visible. From then on, whether it was CSR, whether it was sustainability, whether it was HRD, which was at that time his prime passion and indeed mine, Our paths continue to not just cross, but to literally twine. And we were seen in so many platforms together. There's an Indian expression called Ram Baram, indicating a very strong brotherhood. And in every sense of the word, we were referred with that appellation. There are two aspects to Kamal Bhai. One, of course, is the personal aspect, the human aspect, his giving nature. He had something about him that resonated with every single individual with whom he came into contact. He was unforgettable to everyone whom he touched and with whom he came into contact. There's none of us here today in this call or anywhere, perhaps across the globe, whom he met and who would not remember who he was. He had that immense God-given ability to touch the core of the heart of every person with whom he came into contact. That makes him literally unforgettable. Of his incredible professional achievements, many have spoken, and there is perhaps no need for me to add. But we have seen in recent days how he took GCNI to such incredible heights in such a short time. The boundless energy of the man, the simple human devotion to what he did on an everyday basis, and the incredible connect that he had across the spectrum, whether it's government or non-government or international or national or his own staff or anywhere. That connect stood him in tremendous stead and was instrumental in the tremendous professional success that he had. We know that he has left a void that is not just difficult, perhaps will never be filled. And we will remember him at all times with the greatest of affection, regard, and respect. To the family and to all of us bereaved ones, may God give us the strength to bear this loss, and may his soul really rest in peace. I will only say in the end, जब तक आप हमारे साथ रहे कमल भाई, कमल का कमाल आप दिखाते रहे. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ranjan Kumar Mopatra, please. Rashika. Rashika.
On the mic, sir. Ranjan, if you may speak, if you may say a few words, please.
Thank you very much. And in fact, I just echo what Dr. Chatterjee told. I mean, speaking about him today without a tremor in your voice is just not possible. I think all of us who have come in touch with him have been always touched by him, by his simplicity, by his human nature, and he had been building institutions with so much of passion, so much of love for everything, and at the same time, I mean, taking all of us along. I think I have been knowing him from IMA days. I had even contacted him when I was in Mauritius. We had an issue with IMA. We had been talking, and now with GCNI, we had come in close contacts, and it's just not sinking in. I think this feeling must be with most of us who are here today. This is just not sinking in. I can't believe. I mean, 15-20 days before we had spoken, we had talked about many other things, and I mean, never ever thought that we'll be missing him out just like this. I know. I think God must have some good thoughts in his mind, so that he has taken him there. But we all will miss him a lot. I think it's an irreparable loss for many of us who knew him so well. And it is also a huge loss for the institutions he has been building. So, I mean, from my side, deepest condolences to the family, deepest condolences to all of us who know him and for whom he was almost like a family member. I will definitely miss his smiling face, miss his way of expressions and getting things done in his own inimitable way. We'll miss you, Kamal Bhai. I think you will be hugely missed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Shabnam, my colleague, to please share her thoughts.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the GCNI team, I think we concur with each and every word that the friends and colleagues have said before, especially for us as a team, because he has been, we've been working with him very closely for the last 4 years, and all the spirit, all the congeniality, and all the scale we have seen in person. In fact, particularly a particular interest to us, was that during the pandemic, what Sir had done covering the digital world with such delight and moving, like he was known to be a person who did big scale events, but moving from the big scale to the digital, the adaptability, converting like all these challenges into opportunities was his forte. And his loss will of course be felt by all of us. I would like to request, we are joined by quite a few members from the global family of the UN Global Compact, both the head of office and other networks. And may I request my other colleagues to pitch in with few words. Thank you. You can simply raise your hands and Rashika will unmute. The Global Compact, UNGC.
We can have Shameen now.
Hello, everyone. Good to be here, but it's a sad occasion to meet so many people that we know. And I know Kamal would be looking from there and saying that, you know, like it's such a people person. We have with us over 170 people on board, and it's amazing. So many lives he's touched. You know, like we're really happy that all these years, the 4 years he's been with Global Compact, that I became very good friends with him. We will really miss him because in the Asia region, he was a rising star. India has gone to new heights, as Udesh and others have said. In the last 4 years, he was a role model. India was a role model for the Asia Pacific region. They were doing so many things and so many initiatives at a level that wasn't even recognized in other countries. So we will really miss his smile. We'll miss his innovation that he's brought to us, but we need to remember him today by celebrating what he's done for the UNGC, what he's done for the local networks in Asia Pacific region, and what he wanted for the world. He wanted the Global Compact to be at new heights, and I know that Kamal's initiatives that he's taken, Udesh and others at the local network, it's a big loss, but I know that his dreams will continue, and we will try to respect his dreams and continue those dreams in the UN Global Compact family. I just, on a personal note, I want to say I talked to him 2 weeks ago. It was such a shock when I got to know from Neha that he's no more, and it's unbelievable. I met him the first time in 4 years ago, and he was a person who would just come up to you and say, "Hi, how are you? I'm so and so." And he was a people person, and I hope those energy, that dynamics continues in the UN Global Compact family. And I just pray for his family, Kamal's family. I pray for his children that they remember their dad in the way we all remember him. So thank you very much for letting me speak this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shameen. May I now request Neha to say a few words, please?
Thanks, Shabnam. It's very difficult to express my emotions in words. Hearing all of you speak about Kamalji and the many amazing ways in which he touched all our lives, I was thinking that a true legacy of a person is reflected in not only how they are treated and how many friends they have in life, but how they are remembered in passing. And this gathering clearly shows that Kamalji was a uniquely warm, friendly, inspiring person who touched the lives of everyone that he met, and in so many different and unique ways. he was not just a great colleague, but he was also a great friend, a true leader, and who showed compassion and kindness in whatever he did, which are qualities that are sometimes very underrated, but are so important in a human being, to be kind, compassionate, and friendly and warm. From the Global Compact office in New York, I was likely someone who had maximum interaction with him during the course of the work. And, hardly a week would pass when I would not have an email in my inbox from him, or we wouldn't have a call schedule. So my work days won't be the same without his presence. He was such a vibrant, energetic, dynamic person. He never said no to anything. I never saw him, being deterred by a challenge. He was always ready to take on challenges, always smiling. And his dream was to raise the bar higher for the Network India. He was working towards it, and I'm confident that the team he leaves behind will take it forward, and all of you will help the team, and the network will grow leaps and bounds and continue to do so. We'll miss him, and I just want to say कि भगवान उनकी आत्मा को शांति दे, उनके परिवार को शक्ति दे कि वो इसको सह सके, उनकी टीम को शक्ति दे. मैं और मेरे सारे साथियों ने कभी भूल नहीं पाएंगे. So Om Shanti, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Ole, and then Joby, please. Ole.
Okay, thank you so much. Like others, I really appreciate this opportunity to honor Kamal and honor everything he done for the UN Global Compact and for this big family of the Global Compact. I have known Kamal since, I guess, 3-4 years ago, and worked closely with him, as well as other of our leaders of the local networks of the Global Compact. And like others have said, we've been truly impressed by how the Global Compact in India has made tremendous progress under Kamal's leadership, and really impressed by everything he's been able to accomplish, all the great partnerships he's been able to establish. But I think more importantly, Kamal will really be remembered by the personal impact he has had on so many of us. He was, I remember him also, like others, as a really uniquely warm and compassionate human being. I tried to think back, having met him, in person, typically twice every year for those years, and I don't remember even one interaction I've had with him. Also thinking about all the many online interactions we've had, and I don't think there was one interaction in which he wasn't full of smiles and full of encouragement for me and for all the other colleagues. He really stands out as a truly wonderful and warm human being, and he's, like Sanda and Neha and many others have said, he's a great loss really for the whole Global Compact family. I know there are also other networks who've been able to join this, and I know just that he's made so many friends across all countries, across all continents, in the way he's interacted with Global Compact colleagues, and he was really loved by so many of those friends and colleagues from all over the world. So we will all have to try our very, very best to take strength from these fond memories that we have of Kamal, and see how they can give us strength to even carry the work forward with more passion and more direction, and knowing that Kamal so strongly believed in that mission and did everything he could. So thank you again for this opportunity, and may he rest in peace.
Thank you, Ole. I think it's we all agree that many times people forget what you said, what you did, but not how you made them feel. And Kamal sir made everyone feel special. With that, may I request Ola Joby to say a few words?
Thank you very much indeed, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. It's Kamal. His death has been it's a great loss, and it's really personal, And when I was told, I just remember him, whenever he comes to New York, and we go shopping, he will ask me to go shopping with him. He wants to buy things for everybody. He was always shopping this and that, and say, even when I tell him I have to go to my meeting, he said, Joby, please, I have to buy for this, I have to buy for that. He was such a kind person. He was such a lovely person. It's deep, as somebody said. You can't say something about Kamal without tremor in your voice. It's just not possible, when I was in India about 2 years ago, and I was they took me out for dinner. Kamal was seated beside me, and we tell you, I don't know what to say. I just want to say to his family, your loss is our loss. Your loss is our loss. And I pray that God will grant him the peace that he deserves. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Ola Joby. I now request my colleagues, Dr. Somnath, followed by Shreya Verma, then Tamanna, and then Panchali. Request them to be very brief because we are struggling for a few minutes. So over to my colleagues.
Somnath, if you may go, please.
Yes. Respected President, member, and dear friends, colleagues in the family, please accept my heartfelt condolence to this irreparable loss of our loved one, Mr. Kamal Singh. I'm really saddened on this sudden demise of our loving and sweet talent. I'm proud to say that I have spent almost 4 years of my professional life with the dynamic and visionary leaders at Global Compact Network India. I have worked with him on various assignments with different purpose and always found him an incredibly supportive and cooperative leader. He was a person who always made others feel special with his kindness, grace, and hospitality. His positive attitude and respectful way of dealing with individuals made him a great human being on this planet. His ready smile, his helping nature, his commitment to the cause, to this work, and to the colleagues altogether proved his great leadership and mentorship. A lot of memories I have for the moments that I have spent with him, and this will remain with me forever. I do not have much words to explain Kamal sir's goodness, qualities, and the achievements, but for me, he was a man of example rather than a man of principle. Kamal sir, I'll miss you a lot throughout my life and would try to imbibe all whatever I have learned from you. Once again, I express my deepest sympathy to the family and the colleagues on this big loss of pure soul. I pray the Almighty bless the noble soul to rest in the eternal peace. In the context of Global Compact Network India, I would like to share 2 lines here as a tribute to Kamal sir. आसियाना जो बनाया आपने हम उसे संजोए रखेंगे, दिखाई जो राह आपने चलने की हम पग पग यूं ही उस पर चलते रहेंगे. नमस्कार, ओम शांति.
Thank you. Shreya, if you may go next.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Like many of us here, even I'm unable to express my emotions today without a tremble in my voice. So excuse me for that. I may not know the definition of a leader, but I do know that I had the privilege of working with one, Kamal sir. The best thing about sir was that his vision was never bound by geographies or by any industry, nor was it bound by gender or any age. I always saw him strive to empower everyone who worked with him or came in his contact by being a friend, philosopher, and a mentor. He was definitely a mentor to me on many occasions where I felt a tremor of doubt in my abilities or in what I was doing. So sat me down and gave me the motivation and the courage that I could go forward and make a difference. And actually, he was making the difference in this world. I think I learned the true meaning of walking the talk from him. We move forward today now, but with an extremely heavy heart. With the lessons that were taught by Sir of hard work, dedication, integrity, being humble and passionate towards our work, and above all, honesty. He always said, never be afraid to tell the truth. And in all honesty, we will live by that. To tell the truth, we miss him. We miss him deeply. I take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt gratitude and regard to Sir and his family. We stand by Sir's family, not just in this moment today, but always. And we are with you in prayers in this moment.
Thank you, Shreya. Tamanna, if you'd like to go next, please.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's really very difficult to express all my words for Mr. Singh. It's been almost 4 days, and it's very difficult for me to accept that he's no more between us. The day that news came, it was very much, I was in a deep shock, and I was not able to accept that he won't be between us. The day he stepped in Global Compact Network India family, that from that day itself, he had a dedication, that hope, that admirations to take GCNI to a new level. I've not met any person in my life with whom I've known Mr. Singh that whoever said that he has not helped anyone. He was a man of a humble nature. He started everything with this humble attitude. He know how to get the things done. He know where he has to keep his humble attitude. I will not be able to forget all his humbleness attitude, all that he has given to the GCNI, apart from treating all of us in the GCNI team, all of us like his own family. He has given everything to us that what we could actually achieve. He always keep the people first and himself in the backyards, because he always want to empower people. He always want to make other people go ahead. And he was a man who always say one thing that I will always remember in my life, that stay true in the dark, but remain humble in the spotlight. He always remained humble in the spotlight, and always have given other people the opportunity to come to spread the word on everything. And he was the one who actually have taken a good motivation and put us in a more confidence to do everything with the hope and with all the admirations that he has given for the GCNI. My thoughts and the prayers are with the GCNI family, the colleagues, his friends and family, whoever have known him. May the departed soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamanna. Panchali, if you would like to go next.
Respected colleagues and member, sorrow fills our heart deeply at this moment, and this sorrow is very personal and deep. Kamal sir has departed, and our lives has been left with a void that would be very. Kamal sir was a man who gave so much to his work. As we gather here to bid him a goodbye, I would like to speak a few words to honor his life. His life has portrayed brilliance and a life that inspired everyone to achieve milestones and to keep aiming higher. He had a persona that would motivate everyone to strive and never give up. He was always willing to share his idea and new information. I have known him when I joined UNGCNI as a membership officer. He was a visionary, a creative, and an innovative thinker. And he contributed so much to the development of UNGCNI. He guided us through his extensive knowledge and skills. He was a wonderful leader and the heart of UNGCNI family. He led the team in such a manner that has exemplified his leadership. He was a force of energy and inspiration. He smile in his face, and he had a very helpful attitude. He was always giving compliments to his staff, and he made sure that we were appreciated, and we are truly going to miss him. In his absence, we are trying to uphold one of his work philosophy, that is to meet targets and deadlines, and we will continue to put our necessary effort in that direction to achieve the same. He was a humble and a splendid person, and a most vibrant individual with a beautiful soul and a gem of a personality. I would like to express my deepest condolences to his family and my prayers with you during this time. May your soul rest in peace. Shanti.
Thank you, all the colleagues from GCNI family. And I will now request the floor to be open to everyone. We try and accommodate as many as possible, and it will happen by raise of hands. So I will request Rashika to take this forward. I think Vaishali ji wants to go first. Vaishali ji, please.
Thank you. Sad to be meeting with all of you today. Quite obvious that we love Kamalji a lot, but it seems like God loved him way more than we did. He went way too early. Just as we've seen, everybody felt like they had a very special bond with Kamalji. And so do I. I feel that I had a very special bond with Kamalji. I helped him chair the Gender Equality Summit here. And we met about 5 years ago. And I always felt that I put very unrealistic goals, and he made me feel they were so easy to achieve. He made all of us feel so empowered, and that is a true leader. I spoke to him actually on Wednesday. He called me and we spoke, and I'm so glad I spoke to him, but he didn't sound good then. And of course, we were just not expecting him to go away like this. I remember him as a very cheerful, very supportive friend who was always willing to raise the bar, and he always made you feel like you were the one raising the bar. I'm so proud of my association with him. I think we had a lot of fun addressing a very important topic of gender, and he did so many more important things, as I can hear and as I saw, but he always made us feel that this was the most important thing he was committed to. I'm very grateful that God gave me the opportunity to work with him. I want to tell the team it's going to be not only challenging, but absolutely impossible to find a replacement for Kamalji, because you may get a professional, but you are not, it's going to be very difficult to get the person he was. He's a very warm, loving, affectionate person. And I'm sure he's smiling, his ever smiling face, his twinkling eyes will be with us. I will remember him like that. And it's very tragic. My deepest condolences to the team. I know last time I met him was at the Gender Equality Summit in March, and we'd agreed to have, it was just the beginning of COVID times, and we'd all agreed to meet over. We are going to do that, and his presence will be with us. May God give his family the strength to deal with this loss. It's our loss as much. Om Shanti. Deepest condolences. Thank you, Ms. Vaishali. May I request Mr. Anil Sachdev to go next, please?
Yes. So for 10 years in All India Management Association, I used to chair the national awards for young managers as a part of that process. And I want to call out that every time we hosted those awards, and there was a process of selecting the best talent in the country, Kamal would wait on that day till the last person was given the food and lunch, and he would be the last person to eat himself. That shows you the person that he was. Every year I used to help him in the National HRD Network to chair the conference of senior leaders for many years. And whenever we would do it off-site, he always called the weakest person who was cleaning the hotel floor or the electrician who was attending to the sound, and he would make sure he got his food and he was looked after. I noticed these small things about Kamal. And he brought his son, Lalit. I hope you are a part of this call. And Lalit, I will never forget the day when he brought you and introduced him to all of us and said, he told Lalit, he told you that remember, amongst all the things you are learning in these things, remember that the most important aspect of life is to be a good human being. And I think he lived that. His son experienced that. All of us experienced that. Lots of love. And Kamal, You will be in our hearts, and you are there with us in your journey. Thank you very much for being a fellow traveler and for being such a loving person. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sajdev. If I may request Shravan Sharia to go next, please.
Well, it's with a very heavy heart that I'm still trying to sink in the news about Kamal's demise. When this news was told to me, I got an unbelievable eye to the information, the news. My heart goes out to all the GCNI, GCNI members. My interactions with Kamal Singh are limited to the last 1 year, but I have to tell you that he placed the institution first and himself next. So if I were to really write a eulogy for his sad demise, it would revolve around the fact that all of us would have a certain important agenda to first felicitate the greatest work that he has accomplished for UNGCNI in all these years. And as part of that felicitation, it only strengthens, and it has to strengthen our resolve to increase his work focus and his dedication towards furthering the 17 SDGs in India. And that would be, a lasting homage that we all can pay to him and his family to kind of overcome this irreparable loss. May God rest his soul in peace. God really loves him, and which is the reason why he wanted him in his kingdom sooner than we all wanted him to steer UNGCNI in India. My heart goes out for everybody in UNGCNI. He was the big brother guiding the ship towards success, and I hope Kamal Singh ji continues to guide the ship that he captained for furthering the SDGs in India. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Shravan. May I request Mr. Nikhil to come up next, please?
Thank you all for giving me this opportunity, and very difficult to kind of, first of all, accept and reconcile that Kamalji is no longer with us. But as some of you have said, that he's the kind of person at a personal level, professional level, and a leader who will stay with us. Who will stay with us forever. And we would often talk about Uttarakhand, because I also come from Almora. He was from Almora. And we would talk about how SDGs we can use, to try and empower the people there in Uttarakhand. And always, as I have mentioned in my message also, that he would make the other person feel so strong and empowered. And a lot of us are saying the same thing. And if he made each one of us feel that way, that goes to show the high level of evolution of that person that he was. And my heart reaches out to his family, the kind of shock it has been. We would like to tell him, and I would personally like to assure him, wherever he is taking him forward, that we will continue the work that he has initiated. He has guided all of us, and the entire team here, as well as my team from the NGO Richa. We are partners with the Global Compact, and the other works that we try and do with the family here will continue. Kamalji, again, as I would like to end, because there are a number of people who would like to speak, the last that I would like to say about him in terms of remembering him would be that the simplicity of the person is that the greatness lies in the simplicity. And he would ensure that each one of us felt that way, very, very special. So my condolences again to the family, and we stand by the family, and Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
Thank you, Mr. Nikhil. May I request Ms. Radharani Sharma to go next, please? Can you please unmute yourself? Yeah.
Thanks for the opportunity. It was very shocking to hear about the loss of a great professional friend. I had known Mr. Kamal Singh when he was
at IMA and at National HRD Network. But my interaction with him became more intense when I met him in New York during 2017 Prime Global Forum. He had recently joined UNGCNI, and he told me that as executive director, he had very ambitious plans and he needed my support. So I have been associated with the PRME for a long time, and I told him about my work and my contributions. And he told me that this is very much in tune with that, and he would very much like me to be involved in variety of activities. So I supported him on all the initiatives that he was undertaking. I supported him as a member of organizing team for UNGC summits, Gender Equality Summit. In fact, Vaishali just mentioned about the first SDG quiz, which he organized for MBA students. And he was very persuasive, persistent, and dedicated. And I organized a couple of teams from my institute, MDI, to participate in that. So what I remember of him is a person with tremendous network, tremendous persistence, tremendous dedication and patience, and he would make you feel important. In fact, he asked me to jointly organize a workshop on PRME initiative during 8th Asia Forum at Mumbai. Sometimes it was difficult for me to find time, but he was so persuasive that you will feel compelled and attracted to the great work that he was doing. My sincere condolences to his family and also to UNG CNI family. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Chaturvedi, if you'd like to say a few words, please. Can you hear us, Dr. Chaturvedi? Yes, your mic is on, so you may speak something. Or if we may move to the next person, please, Mr. Dhananjay Singh, and we can come back to Dr. Chaturvedi in a few minutes.
Thank you. To me, it's a very personal loss. And after knowing him for over 20 years, Kamal Singh ji was my mentor and guide. And I owe my professional learnings to Kamal Singh ji. Whether it was IMA or NHRD or GCNI, he has not only built these 3 institutions, he has built leaders across the country, and it is not restricted to India, but far from the shores of this country also. Kamal Singh ji invested in people. He made ordinary people extraordinary. He built, and he has very deep commitment to human resource development. He always believed that people have truly the potential to become what they would like to become. The potential itself is infinite. That was his belief in any human resource. And the kind of patience he has to develop people is unparalleled, simply unparalleled. He has so much ability to work with people, work with difficult situations, and still be very, very calm. Maybe we have lost him as far as the physical body is concerned, but the values which he cherished, values for which He lived his life with a lot of passion and commitment, will always inspire each one of us. He was not just a business leader or leader of association, administration, industry. He was a social leader. From his village in Almora to capital of the country to wherever you go, he has built people. Selfless investing in people and institutions. We'll miss him always and a lot. To ma'am, Anuradha, Rachna, Lalit, we'll always with each one of you. And the true homage to Kamal Singh ji will be to live for his ideals and for the ideals which he gave his life. Thank you very much, and Om Shanti. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. If I may request Ms. Shubda to say a few words, please. A very good evening to all of you. I think amongst all, I seem to be the only one who had the least interaction with Kamal ji, but it has definitely left a deep impact. Otherwise, I would not be here for this prayer meeting. I first met Kamal ji when the GCNI had their annual meet in Mumbai. I think it was in 2018 or 19, if I'm wrong. I was with the Mahindra Group at that point in time. I have since retired as of this year. And what really struck me about Kamal ji was his very Zen-like demeanor. You know, there was a huge event happening. The things were bound to go out of hand at a certain point in time. And he was always there, very cool and calm. And he would say, no, things will just fall in place. You just keep doing your job. And I think that really kept everybody moving. And he knew how to get each of us work as one team. So I think that's where his strength lies. Everybody has spoken a lot about it. So because we are short on time, I would not like. But there was one thing that I would like to say here. I think I felt that Kamalji was sending a message to me because the day he passed away, GCNI WhatsApp group, there was a message, a notification which I had missed because I was busy with some other responsibility. And I was talking to my daughter on Tuesday. And since both of us are working in the space of sustainability, I just mentioned to her about Kamalji. And while I was talking to her, I said, I have not checked the GCNI WhatsApp group. Let me just check. And there pops a message that Kamalji is no more. And the way I screamed, I think my daughter also got a little worried. She was like, what happened? And I told her, it's unbelievable. I was talking to you about Kamalji and I get a message, he's no more. So I think Kamalji was trying to signal somehow that he got me to understand that he is no more. Otherwise, I would have probably not seen the message for days to come, or God forbid, I would have just completely missed out. So there it was, like a message straight from Kamalji. For that, I'm very, very thankful. I am with his family, Lalitji, in this hour of, grief. So my deepest condolences, and the only thing that can keep us going is Kamalji's legacy of a great human being and a great professional. Thank you. Thank you so much. If I may request Dr. Shankar Goenka to go next, please.
Namaste and good evening. मैंने तो अपनी लाइफ में कमल जी से दो बात सीखी कि your network is your net worth, and that is what Kamal sir lived with. And the second thing I believe, and I'm sure each one of us learn from, is your presence is the biggest gift to someone. And we are going to miss your presence, Kamal sir. Thank you so very much for being in my life. I spoke to him just a day before. And he says, Goenka ji, and I told him, sir, aap kab bahar aaoge? He said, bahut jaldi. And I says, and he told me in December, we're going to plan a women leadership program. And I said, sir, I'm with you. So difficult to believe, Kamal sir. Thank you so much for being part of it, sir. Namaste.
Thank you. Ms. Anjali Rena, if you may go next, please.
is absolutely difficult for me to believe that Kamalji is no more. He was somebody who meant a lot to me and to my family. I've known him for so many years. I can't even recall. I think the first association began with IMA, continued with NHRDN, went through UNGC, but more than the organizations and the association I had with him through my time with Grindlays and Citibank and then with Harvard Business School, it was not an organization-to-organization relationship. It was a person-to-person relationship. And he introduced me to so many people whom I can see today on this call. So, as somebody said, it was not a network. These were all his friends and family, and he made each one of us connected with each other and build relationships with each other, whether it was people like Anil Sachdev or Dhananjay or Bhaskar Chatterjee. I can't even remember who were the people that he introduced me to, whom I met through him. And he was the central point. My husband Ishan, my sister Anuradha, myself, he's part of our family. I miss him. It's difficult to believe that he's no more. Thank you for giving me this chance to speak. My heart goes out to his family. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ms. Nasreen Khan, if you'd like to go next, please.
Well, I've known Kamal since 1993, and I can't even begin to share how I feel, frankly. But I'm going to go back to an incident that happened with us. So I used to have my office in Kalkaji, and we used to celebrate our birthdays for sure through a belated, but we used to celebrate. So his birthday is on 11th of November. And it was a winter time, and he came to my office, and we were supposed to celebrate his birthday. So we walked down from my office about 500 meters to a restaurant, where we had a very lovely meal. We spent about 2 hours and all of that. And those were the times when, you know, you could have a meal. I'm talking about the 90s, and you could have a meal in $500, a really good meal. He was wearing a blazer. In the blazer, he put in his money. You just no wallet, but just in his blazer. When we finished lunch, what happened was, it was history to me, by the way. When we finished lunch, when he took out the money, he realized that a $500 note has probably fallen out somewhere. And he looked really embarrassed because now he didn't have the money to pay. And of course, I pulled his leg and all of that. Of course, we managed to pay the restaurant. And during that, we had this whole discussion about how honesty, when you work really hard and you work honestly, nothing goes waste. So we had been together for 2 hours in that restaurant. When we came out on the busy streets of Kalkaji, those of you who know Delhi, Kalkaji market, main market, we are walking back towards our office. Will you believe that we found the 500 rupee note? And all Kamal had to say was that, see, I told you, anytime you do work honestly and you do work hard, that money is always yours. It just stands for who he was. And that's not the only thing that he's been such a dear friend. It's very, very difficult to talk anymore. Thank you so much for giving the chance.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Dr. Chaturvedi, if you'd like to say something.
Dear friends, last 3 decades have been very significant for the journey of India as a nation. 3 institutions have played a critical role in transforming India from an undeveloped country to a developing country and then aspiring to become economic power. And these 3 institutions were IMA, National HRD Network, and GCNI. Kamalji has worked in these institutions and he built these institutions brick by brick. He has been a big storyteller for me. Always he was telling about his childhood, his early young life. And I remember he used to say that in his childhood, when he used to go to the school, he was not having chappals. Without chappals, he used to go to the school with a lot of enthusiasm, and he never forgotten his past. He was always loving his village. I would like to conclude. बड़े शौक से सुन रहा था जमाना, बड़े शौक से सुन रहा था जमाना, तुम्ही सो गए दास्ता कहते कहते. In English, I would like to translate. The whole world was listening your story with keen interest. Only you slept telling the story. My deepest heartfelt sympathies with the family. We are with them, Anuradha, Rachna, and Lalit. All of us will never forget Kamalji as our friend, our well-wisher, our mentor.
Thank you so much, sir. If I may request Ms. Sapna Narula to say a few words.
Yes, thank you for giving me this opportunity. In fact, I have no words to express my sorrow because, as everyone has been saying, Kamal has been a very good friend. To me, he was not only, you know, a collaborator, but he was also a mentor. And what I liked about him on our first meeting was that he was a very simple and humble human being, always came simply. And we worked on a lot of initiatives at Terry. I did 2 international conferences. He was very much part of that. He connected me with lot of people. And when I joined Nalanda University on January 1, he especially telephoned me to congratulate me, and he said so good words to me. It is unimaginable that he's not there with me, because a week before he fell ill, he met me in a virtual meeting where he had invited me. We were speaking. So he told me, Sapna ji, let us chat on Sunday. And on Sunday at 12 noon, around 12 noon, I thought that, I'll call him in the evening. He's very busy. So I'll call him in the evening. But to my surprise, he called me around 12, and we spoke for around half an hour. His words still, echo in my ears. He was talking about my future career, and he gave me one advice, which I will remember, and I'm sure his children would also remember. He would have talked to them about that Sapna, please stay humble. You have been a humble human being, and I have always liked this about you. And he was saying that keep yourself like this, whatever position you take, you are now you. So he was like praising, he was motivating me. And then he says, jaisi ho waisi rehna Sapna, be humble. So I have no words for his family, especially his wife, who has lost a life partner. This is the time when a wife would most need, her husband. And he was so much busy with his professional life. He may not have done justice to the family, I'm sure, because those who are really, professionally very busy. My heart goes out to his wife and children. Children still would, somehow meet their life partners. They will forget. I lost my father at similar age, so when he was 59. So I know it's very difficult for his life partner. And madam, I just want to tell you that you have to he's there with you. You just have to have courage. So your children are there to support. GCNI family, it is such a loss for GCNI family. He was so well connected with each one of us. I was part of many committees where Dr. Chatterjee and Dr. Kamal Singh both were there. So it was too early. But that's that's how destiny had planned it. We don't have any say in God's will. I think He lives with us, and we have to fulfill all the obligations, all the initiatives that were started by Him. We have to see that these are fulfilled at GCNI. All His dreams should be carried away on both personal and professional front. Thank you. May God rest him in peace. Thank you, Kamal Singh ji, for always motivating me personally. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sapna. If I may request Mr. Anirban to say something, please. So if you may unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd call on me 5 minutes from now because I would have stopped driving by then, but I will just take a minute. We are mourning the sudden and premature demise of Kamal, who was so very close to us. While it is a big loss for GCNI, not only for all the wonderful things that he has done, but also for all the things that he would do were he to be here with us today. But even as it is a loss for us at GCNI, it must be a bigger loss for his family. Deepest condolences to them. Wish you courage in these difficult times. I can't help but mention that Kamal was very gracious and generous with respect and praise. And I often thought that he was probably being more generous to me than I deserved. But then that was Kamal, and many of us may have felt the same way when Kamal engaged with us. My condolences to the family, and let me stop here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. If I may request General Khurana to go next, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. Friends, I've heard such tremendous compliments to Kamal, mostly from the GCNI family. But I would like to just step back a little. It's about 30 years back that I got to know him. When he was a young officer, junior officer at the IMA when I took over. And I think it was just a few days that I saw a young, budding person with dreams in his eyes, with wanting to develop, wanting to learn, and wanting to prove himself. And as the time went by, when more and more responsibilities were given to him, he put his 200% commitment. He had passion, he had dedication to the job, and he was always there to make sure that any problems are overcome. And as I've been hearing my friends, he was a true leader. A leader always puts himself in the front when doing a job. And rightly, when Kamal succeeded in any of the events or any of the jobs, he was not there, he was at the back, and he put his team in the front. He was always appreciating his team for having done a great job. Kamal was a man who wanted to achieve. Kamal was a man who wanted to add to the humanity. He was a man who wanted to empower people. He had passion. And I never heard anyone ever speak a word against him. Whereas in his own inimitable way and a persuasive way, he will come over and he will make sure that his colleagues or any problems were sorted out. I think there's a great quality in the man to network, which we've heard so much. I mean, when he became a director, all that I had to say, Kamal, hey, what about getting, more people into it? He said, don't worry. He converted networks into personal friends. And that is something which was a great quality, his humanness, his simplicity. At times I used to pull his leg. I said, you are a child at heart. You are a simple man at heart. But then that's a great quality because outside he was a thoroughly professional. He was a great human being. And I think he touched every life that he touched. They'll never be forgotten. I know Lalit and his two sisters and his mother. They've been to our house often. Kept coming over even the last few years. Well, he saw to it that the children grow up. I would say, though he was busy professionally, but I think he saw to it that the children grow up and they're groomed to become a big success in the world. And I'm sure, Lalit, you and your sisters are going to carry the legacy of your father, and you're going to prove that he has brought you out into Mrs. Kamal Singh and to the children. And I would like to assure you, the family, that we are all with you. We are all there for you anytime that you need us. And I would like to offer my prayers to God to give Kamal eternal peace. Kamal is watching us with a smile that you can never forget. You can never forget the smile of his. He could disarm anybody with any situation. So Kamal, we'll miss you. I salute you, my friend. We'll miss you, but you will ever remain in our hearts. May God bless you, and may God give strength to your family to bear this really irreparable loss. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Joginder Singh, please, if I may request you to say a few words. Mr. Singh, if you may unmute yourself. Or if we may move to the next person, please. Mr. Siddiqui, if you'd like to say something.
Good evening, friends. The news of Kamal Singh's passing away was such a shocking news that I'm still not able to adjust with it. More than 25 years of our relationship, and apart from all the professional qualities and kind of positives we have talked about Kamalji, I think I still remember him as somebody who always was prepared to give. Honest intent to help people. He helped me also as a kind of a personal this thing for guiding my son. So when we got this news, my wife, my sister, my son, my daughter, they were just shocked, shell-shocked. And it appears that there are some unfulfilled aspirations between us, Kamalji and myself. But that remains now. That's what is life. To a great extent, also I'm very privileged, very proud that when I was the national president of National Charity Network, I made him agree to join National Charity Network as the Director General. He joined in beautifully, and as he was a kind of a natural institution builder, he contributed to National Charity Network in a great manner, but being very, very humble. GCNI family, I was hearing all this while, very, very touching. Same is the case with us in NHRDN. Dhananjay also spoke about it. I think this void will not be filled. But one thing which I have been trying to work out with our colleagues, we will strongly stand with Kamalji's family. Relationship means that we continue to really play the same kind of role we would have played when Kamalji was with us. So Lalit and maybe Mrs. Kamal Singh and both the daughters I have met, I think we'll be with you for a very, very kind of difficult time which you are facing. My deepest condolences, and may God rest his soul in peace. Great, terrible loss for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Raj Agarwal, if you'd like to say a few words, please.
I joined IMI in 1991. I was sitting in second floor. So a young officer came and told me that this is a great opportunity that you got. So I said that, who are you? So he said that I am a personal officer here, looking after this HR. So that was my first introduction. I have seen him in 3 phases in IMA. First, there was a phase when IMA was passing through a difficult time, difficult crisis. There was a deficit. And there was a union also. So this working of IMA, this was highly disturbing. But the approach of Kamal, it was very, very hardworking. So for me, it was a big surprise that how this person in this kind of situation is working from Monday to Sunday. This is what that 24 hours, there was no holiday for him. Then we have seen this second transformation of IMA when Mr. General Khurana was the Director General. Then again, I find that he's working very hard. And then this has acquired the leadership position and this flagship event of IMA, this is this NMC, whenever that was planned. So this is what that, we thought that this is going to be 100% success. And success, this is what that with a growth in terms of this number of delegates, growth in terms of this quality, growth in terms of this leadership, a great learning. And third, then again, I have seen during the time of Rekha Sethi, Madam Rekha Sethi, the way this is what that for him again, this I have seen in Mumbai, I have seen in several places, the way he was working. And one more good thing I have seen, that ability to transform himself. This is what that he was there in management development. But in last 10 or 15, 20 years, he changed himself or transform himself into a management education. This is what that started delivering sessions in Management Institute, started sharing his management experiences. So this is what that he has not only contributed for the management development in this country, but he has also contributed a lot for this management education in this country. For me, he was a personal friend. This is what that I feel really very sorry when I know, when I came to know, because this just before 4 or 5 days, this I requested him that I want a speaker on this social sustainable procurement. So he said that, wait, I'll suggest, he suggested me one speaker, but after that I got this news. So really very, very sorry. Sorry, and my condolence to him, because he was very close to my heart and close to my house also in Noida. This earlier sector 50 I was living, and he was very near. So this occasionally he was coming to my house and I was going to meet him. So really miss him, really miss him.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words. If I may request Mr. Asim Kumar to please take over.
Yeah, so really overwhelmed. This is a loss which can never be recouped. This is something which is a loss for all humanity. With all humility, I will now request Mr. Kamal Singh's son, Lalit, to say a few words, please. Yeah, Lalit, go ahead.
Namaskar. Thank you all for sharing your sentiments. Your kind words means a lot to our family. Our father has touched a lot of lives, and your presence here is a proof of it. It is early, but we as a family are trying to pick up the pieces and move ahead with heavy heart. Your blessing and support will mean a lot in this process. He's physically not here, but we know he's still watching us and will consistently be with us and as a guide, as a protector. Thank you all. God bless us all. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Lalit. We stand with you, Vijayalakshmi ji, Rachna, and Anuradha in this time of grief and tragedy. And we will continue to be your family members as before. Finally, I would like to thank everybody for joining in And last words, because most of you will know, and some of you will not know that I have worked very, very closely with Kamal sir, first in IMA and then now in GCNI. And in between, wherever I was, we were in constant touch. So it's a great, great personal loss for me. And the only thing that I can say is, तू शाहीन है, परवाज है काम तेरा, उड़ने को तेरे आसमां और भी है. I think he has gone to the other skies and he will soar high there as well. Thank you very much, everyone. God bless all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We shall end the meeting at this moment. Thank you.